In 5 minutes, the 5 top tips for a kayak fisherman on the water. Let's get into it. G'day, Byron's my name. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are here in New Zealand and we're going to cover in 5 minutes my 5 biggest tips for kayak fishermen. These tips will keep you safe and ensure that you are having a bucket load of fun on the water. Let's smash these out. So number 1, overloading your kayak. It's the biggest rookie error that at some point we all do. The first thing I'd recommend you do is have a look at these stickers here to make sure that you don't exceed the rated weight for your kayak. Not only will it provide you a guide, but you'll ensure that you don't overload the kayak, whereby the performance will be degraded and you'll encroach on some safety issues with the kayak. It won't float as well. You might look at some buoyancy problems as well. So avoid overloading your kayak with all the gear, all the lures, all the different colors. The more I fish, the more I limit the gear I take with me, and I try and take one tackle box under the seat, a seat back backpack that sits on the back of the seat, and a bag up the front of the kayak. It allows me to really concentrate on the stuff that I've got on board and improve the techniques that I'm concentrating on. Number 2, as soon as you get your kayak, stop. Do not drill into your kayak. If you can, find a kayak that's got some adjustable rails and whatnot on the side, but it will take some time for you to get used to where you'd like things on there. Whether it's a sounder or graph on this side or a rod holder on that side of the kayak, at some point you'll get used to what you like and you might even end up swapping them around. The thing that you don't want to do is commit yourself to something that's uncomfortable by permanently drilling something into the kayak. So get some adjustable mounts if you can when you're starting off. The third biggest tip is to choose the right kayak. And it's difficult to do, but if you find a YouTube channel like this with a playlist like that, you can go through a number of different kayaks and work out what is exactly for you. When choosing a kayak, my 2 biggest considerations are the logistics of it and how I'm going to transport it and how I'm going to store it. If I don't have a garage or a trailer, well then maybe the Hobie Pro Angler or something that's above 14 foot can prove to be difficult. The second and probably the more important one is what type of fishing you will do, whether you're in rivers or estuaries or inland kind of lakes versus offshore. The offshore kayak is much different and can take weather and waves, whilst the inland kayak is not so great at doing that. There are design differences in the kayak that you should consider prior to making your first purchase. The great thing about buying a kayak is that they retain their value also. So if you buy a kayak and it doesn't suit you and you don't think the kayak is quite right for you, you can resell it on the second-hand market for quite a good amount for what you paid for it. The 4th point is to test and roll your kayak. You want to be the person that falls into the water and is cool, calm and collected when you're in the water and submerged. If it happens at night, again, that calmness is going to help you get back into the kayak. You certainly don't want to be the person that is freaking out when it's your first time. Getting into the kayak as well is different. Some kayaks like the PA, you should get in over the nose. But over the Compass, for example, that's got a bit of a dish at the front, and getting into the kayak from the front can prove difficult, so you might need to come in from the side. Either way, whichever kayak that you use, practice makes perfect here. When you first get your kayak, put your PFD on, have the kayak in the water about waist deep water and practice getting in and out a number of times. Your confidence will build, and eventually if you find yourself in the water, you'll be cool, calm, collected and be able to get yourself back into your kayak without a problem. My 5th point, and it sits on the safety one, it's probably one of the most important points that I've got for you today, and that is to choose the right PFD. Understand that there's mainly 2 types of PFDs on the market that I'd recommend. Those yoke ones that are low profile, that kind of look like a U shape, that sit over your neck and your chest, that have a manual release tag, and ones that are permanently inflated like these ones here. Pretty important that you understand that those yoke style life jackets are really good for you floating and being rescued by somebody else. The first type are great and whatnot, but you'll find that they blow up all around the neck and they make maneuvering back onto the kayak and climbing back up quite difficult to do. I'd recommend that type of life jacket for the inshore fisherman, the person that's on rivers fishing with mates, whereby you can get a bit of help to get back in your kayak. In a kayak, you often need to rescue yourself though, and that's where the second type of life jacket comes in. That type of life jacket will help you get onto the kayak and reboard your vessel. If you're offshore, I'd recommend this type of PFD. That type of life jacket will keep you safe. You can add your safety equipment to it, your EPIRBs, your flares, whatever you need. It's got some nice pockets on there as well. well. Not every yoke style life jacket has that either. Now, before I give you the 6th and bonus tip, if you're enjoying this video, please support it. Smash that like button and hit that subscribe if you're into that. The last one I've got for you is the dress for conditions. A pair of dry pants or a spray jacket in your kayak never goes amiss, just in case it keeps raining. But also, if it's sunny, make sure you go with something with a hood. Definitely wear your hat and a long sleeve shirt so that you stay sun smart. I hope you enjoy the video. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.